are we doing here? Wait a minute. Come on. Why isn't anything opening?
So you're trying to open PDFs?
Yeah,
Find it, huh?
on my,
And let's see.
there we go. Must have been out having coffee.
Bretton Gardner from Pike has arrived in the meeting.
Okay. Figured Chastity will call in when she's,
Able, yeah.
yeah, when she's able. Okay. Okay, well, it's 6 and we have Pike here. So I'll call this special meeting of the Hyde Park Select Board. Where are we? November 29th. At 6 o'clock to order. I don't think, do we have anybody else here? There's probably.
Greenmount Access is here. David is online with Breton and you and me, and Roland and Brian are in the meeting room.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Why don't we let's start with Pike and the Center Road, and I think Brian, I'll let you start because you're our picture taker in person here.
Hi, Brendan. Breton, are you on?
Yes, I'm unmuted now. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Did you get the pictures I sent you?
I was just looking at them. Yes.
And you can see that I placed a quarter down there on the ground with some of the just to get an idea of some of the divots so I could show the other ones. I'm not sure. I didn't go up there today to see what the roads look like up there now. If you'll be able to see them.
I drove through today and it was hard. I'm just just so everyone know, I was just coming home from vacation. I had my whole family with me, and I drove through it, but the road was wet and there was a lot of snow on the road. I couldn't see a ton, but I could see a little bit of evidence of some of what you're talking about. I think I have a good idea of what's going on, but I don't know if you want me to.
Yeah, your opinion on it?
Sure. Yeah. So what can happen with asphalt? So asphalt is obviously aggregates, and there's it's a specific design with a grain size distribution from the biggest size stones, which in the top course asphalt is nominal 1/2 inch, and it goes down to fine sand. And the idea is that it fills all the voids. And sometimes what can happen is every once in a while, for some reason, what will happen, what you call segregation of the mix, meaning, and this is when it's still hot, meaning that the mixing something happened with the mixing, and the fines kind of get separated out from the coarse grains. And it's not uncommon for that to happen. There's ways that you can, when they notice it, that they can fix it. Sometimes they'll go back over it with the paver, or if they don't really think it's that bad, and they think it's just one load, and the plant, realize the issue, they'll keep going. I don't see it too often. I guess it happens more often these big drum plants, where the mix is batched into these giant silos in the morning, and then you draw out of them as the day goes. So that's what I think is happening a little bit, is a little bit of the segregation of the mix. Is that a problem? To be determined. How big of a problem is it is to be determined. If it's just a minor segregation on the very top of the asphalt, shouldn't be much of a concern, other than, you know, maybe a little bit of a rumbliness, not as smooth of a surface. We were using half-inch, type 3 half-inch nominal grain size top surface on this project. Sometimes you'll see with a lot of the state roads, their top surface is a little smoother because they tend to use, not all the time, but I've found some cases that they use the type 4, which is the 3/8 inch nominal grain size. So it's you'll get a little bit of a smoother ride, but our data says, well, you can smooth the ride, but maybe not necessarily strong. When you just think of it logically, larger stone is usually stronger than smaller stone. So that's the difference between the type 4 and the type 3. You know, the type 3 tends to segregate a little bit more. Now, could this be something different? Maybe. That's sort of what I think it probably is. And I've talked to some other folks from Pike who've been doing this a lot longer than I have. They were thinking likely the scenario is if you know, like I said, if it's just on the surface, probably not an issue. Like I said, other than a little bit of bumpy ride, but what you're really concerned about is if it goes down deep into the asphalt. So what you don't want to have is, you know, moisture to get in there, leach into the asphalt, and the freeze thaw cycle happen more than what would normally happen in asphalt. You're always gonna get a little bit of leaching of the asphalt, of moisture into the pavement surface. But if it happens really early, it could be, and that cracks and expands, and you get spider cracks everywhere.
That's what we're concerned about, you know.
Yep. And that would be a result of kind of widespread, potentially widespread segregation of the mix, going deep into it, which we hope isn't the case. Right now, it's kind of hard to say. I think we'll have to get a good day where the road is dry, been dry for a few days, sunny day where you can just go see it. Those are few and far between this time of year, but I'd be happy to meet up with someone on the board, and Ron and Mark, and I'd probably bring someone else from Pike who might have some more insight into see what the scenario is and how bad it is, and whether it will require remediations or not.
Okay, so we just got to figure out when that time can be so we can go and look at it. I'd like to be there, and I don't know if Mr. Bowman would like to be there, or anybody else on the board there if they'd like to accompany us. But we just need to figure out those 3 days of dry weather or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's no science to it. We want to get it so it's, the road is not covered in snow, and it's the surface is dry, so you can actually see what's going on.
I'm looking at the forecast for the coming week, and it's sporadic snowfall for the next every other day, just about.
Yeah.
There's going to be snowfall, they're saying, but maybe the salt put on it will clear it up so they can be seen.
That's another thing. Those pores get clogged with salt, and you can't really see it either. I mean,
No, I think you
ultimately,
can, I think you can distinguish between the salt and the porous part. If we get there and we look at it, I think it'll
yeah,
be
sure.
pretty
Well,
obvious.
we can at least, we can at least rule some things out.
Sure.
Is it a major, is it something else other than this segregation theory that I have, it just isn't uncommon at all. It's just, but what would be a worse thing is if, the mix got cold before it got rolled.
Well,
Which
can I add something?
Yep.
But when I noticed it, I was going down through, and like you said, it had been wet, and all of a sudden dry roads, and it goes smooth, and it goes through blotchy. The only way I can identify or explain it, which sounds stupid, but it is milk curdling.
Okay.
But one thing I did notice is what you said about is asphalt cold. It was 37 degrees some mornings they were paving.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
I understand, or I have understood by talking to people, that you shouldn't pave below 40 degrees.
Well,
The rule 40 degrees and rising. And
there
that
is,
hasn't been the case. And you had 4 or 5 trucks, just waiting to go down at hauling from Irisburg, maybe. It's sitting there.
that's
it
Hutchins. We
almost-
were hiring, we were hired from more St. Johnsbury area.
But it almost appears to me, and I'm no paver, I'll tell you that either the asphalt wasn't hot enough when they rolled it, or the roller weren't big enough to roll it down smooth. Because it's not just one section, it's all the way down through. And my concern for the taxpayers of Hyde Park is, like you said, there's water getting in there, settling, expanding in a 1/2 inch hole. Next spring could be a 3/4 inch hole or an inch hole. In the following year, it could be a 2 inch hole.
Yep.
And we
And-
just spent
and
a lot of
ultimate-
money on,
Of
we just
course,
spent a lot of money on that road. I want to protect the taxpayers on it.
absolutely. And ultimately, that's why we have a 1-year guarantee. So in the spring, you'll be able to tell whether it's breaking down further. And if it is, then that's a problem, and it'll be on the contractor's obligation to fix it at no charge.
Okay.
But right now, I know I can't really say, oh, we'll definitely go and repave it. But we got to do the analysis first. But I just want to make sure everyone knows that we're going to be accountable.
Oh, I understand. I just want to get everything out in the open that
Yep.
is recorded and
Yep, and that's why we're having the
What do you-
meeting, and I appreciate that.
I I have a completely naive question. So when you go out and look at it, how do you know what you're looking for? How do you know? I'm just curious about the process you go through in evaluating what the issues might be.
Well,
I could go out there and stand and look at the road and I couldn't tell you a damn thing. So
yeah, and
so what is it that you're
quite
checking?
honestly, it's experience, and it's partially why I'll probably bring someone who's been around longer at Pike than I have to do some of the very, very detailed analysis on it. But if it's something that's a constructability issue, a big bump that's caused by a roller versus cold mix coming to the job, or this mix segregation that I'm talking about, there's usually some specific features of it that'll catch your eye. Or and another potential constructability, or not, error by the crew could be, laying the mix too skinny, which is then it won't effectively compact, and you'll know that once it starts to crack, you'll be able to see the layer. So there's various different things we look for, but like I said, ultimately, in the spring is when really, if there's major issues, that's when it'll rear its head for final. And that'll be plenty enough time to do the repair. You wouldn't want to do it till then anyway. There's really nothing you want to do now. It just make it worse.
Yeah, but as long as you said you got a year guarantee on it, there's really, to me, not much sense of looking at it now if you ain't gonna do nothing about it anyways this year.
Sure. But I'm happy to go and take a look at it closer just so we have an idea of what's going on. And either way, it can't hurt, I suppose.
Okay, whatever you want to do, as long as it's documented.
Sure. Yeah, I can have a meeting on site and shoot off an email saying what our thoughts were, and that we'll most likely revisit in the spring.
Right. I'd suggest with time that when you see that you're coming, just obviously let Mark and Ron and the other board members know and tell them what time it is, and whatever board members can get there, as opposed to trying to coordinate around board schedules and what folks can do. Because as you say, I think, right, the biggie is going to be in the spring. But when you've got an idea when you're going to be there, if you let, particularly it's going to be, and Dave's right up there, it's going to be the three guys. I don't need to go look at a road. I trust these three and you guys, but to get an idea of
We don't need to all get hit by cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I typically communicate with Ron and Mark. And now I do have somebody else's email, Brian, who sent me those photos.
Yeah.
So I can include him as well.
Terrific.
I'll try to send you some more contact information for myself too, Brett.
Sure. Sounds good.
Thank you, Brett.
Yeah, we have any more questions? Are we set? Got a plan?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brett. Hope you and your family had a good time.
We did. Thank you very much. Have a happy holidays.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It sounded like Chastity.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
There you go. Yep,
Okay,
we got you.
cool. Yeah, I've been on. I just didn't want to interrupt, obviously, but yeah.
Oh, okay, we got you there.
Cassidy, do you have any questions for Brett?
No, I'm all set.
Okay.
Okay, next, a town mask mandate. Since towns have been given the authority, in the email I sent to all of you said I was happy to tip my hand in how I feel about it. I think, now with a new variant coming down the road, but we can always revisit it. I personally think that unless you sort of go to a statewide mandate, pushing this back on the towns doesn't make a lot of sense. I find we're down in Stowe 3 days a week, and we stop at two places at the bagel store to get Bill's lunch, and in the fish store that's next to it. And they're both frequented by lots of locals and visitors. And they have signs up that just say, whether you're vaccinated or not, we'd appreciate it if you'd wear a mask so we can protect our staff and we're protecting their families. And, I think despite all the news you hear about the rest of the country, I think Vermonters are really being very respectful and very thoughtful. We just left the mask requirement upstairs. Nobody's had any problems with that. The library, of course, and I know the libraries all over the state have just kept a requirement for masks, and nobody's had any problems with it. So I don't see any need to do anything with this. And again, depending on this variant's got everybody a little nervous, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a lot of nervousness and it won't be as bad as Delta was, but whatever it is, we can visit things at a later date if we feel that we need to. So anybody feel differently or want to add something or be on the record as how you feel about it?
just let the people, the businesses make up their own mind if they want to put a sign on their door.
Yep, exactly.
I concur.
I agree as well.
Okay. The excavator purchase.
So I finally got hold of Nick Minosh, and or not in person. His admin person, Lisa, reached out on my behalf or on the board's behalf. And Nick has decided he changed his mind and he no longer wants to sell the excavator. So no reasoning that I'm aware of or anything like that. But so I think we go back to the first thing we discussed was just try to see if we get an excavator that can come in and to one of the dealers and see if we can get a deal on it.
Yep, okay, and we had, I had thought that, and Brian, if you're free to participate, that's great, but that Ron and Mark could do the checking with the dealers to see what they have and if we can get a good deal on a good used one. And I would assume by now they probably all got what's coming back in. They know what they have. And if nobody's got any, if somebody has something that looks good, probably do a quick phone call and do a quick to let everybody know and say, okay, this is what we should do. If not, then to go ahead and order the new one, because who knows when we're going to get that.
Yeah.
Right. I thought we had already decided all this at the last select board meeting because we knew Nick wasn't selling, and I thought we had agreed to start looking. Am I mistaken?
Well, we were, but another loop came around and Nick said, okay, I think I am going to sell.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Missed
yeah.
that
So,
part. Okay.
so Brian said, hey, we may have, and Nick had just purchased an extended warranty that was transferable with the piece of equipment. So
Okay.
it was looking though we might be able to get a great deal. So between that and really needing to have this conversation with Pike, and I said, well, we got the mask mandate, what the hell, and we've got the possible hiring. You know, I said we can do a quick special meeting and get all these things out of the way. So.
Okay.
So we go back to square. I think it's square 27 with the excavator, which I want to say, you know, Rolly, I really think that was a great suggestion. There may well be one out there looking for a nice home that will save the town some thousands of dollars, and that would be great.
Correct.
Okay, phone and fiber upgrade. Ron. Wait a minute, you got that? Are you there, Ron? Email? No, I don't need that one. Pike.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Email. There it is.
For about this last 6 months or so, we've been trying to figure out how to provide multiple long-term improvements at the town office and town garage for internet access. So we had Tech Group, who's our consultant, go through all the computers and try to upgrade the security. And in July, we did half of the upgrades per the select board's request to phase it in. Next July 1st, we do the final 50% or so of those security upgrades. And they also highlighted a need to upgrade some hardware. The internet is not spectacular, but it's sort of barely limping along under the Comcast agreement we have, which is a shared cable line. And the phone system at the town office is not repairable anymore. It's old enough that we don't have any parts and pieces anymore. So to do all those things at once is sort of a package deal, sort of fiber upgrade, phone upgrade, security upgrade, and computer hardware upgrade. So the only things we're talking about tonight, because the security upgrades have been talked about, is the fiber and phone upgrade. Now, the Lamoille County Lamoille Fiber CUD is proposing this Lamoille County's fiber upgrade, which will go after the rural areas and eventually, you know, probably in a 5-year window, potentially get to all the buildings and all the addresses if they're successful. The fiber upgrade at the town office is a little different. That'll, instead of having a shared fiber line, which is what most people will get, the town office, which potentially is an investment in that property to have a dedicated fiber line from the roundabout connection. I don't know if you've seen the consolidated communications trucks. They're always at the roundabout. That's where the head end is for the fiber line. They would run a separate fiber down the edge of the road and come into the town property to connect the town garage and town office, the village office, as well as the public meeting room with the dedicated business fiber. So timing of that is just like anything else. There's parts and pieces to be ordered. There's contracts to be signed, and that's what I was going to go over tonight. So even though there's lots of detail to this stuff, I asked the broker for these services, which is, I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but Consolidated Communications is the phone company. And right now we're paying $606 a month. And the new system is $320 a month, which is basically upgrading analog phones to a digital phone system. Digital phone systems allow people calling in to get immediately transferred to any phone, which we can't do now. It also provides for video and audio connection, which we don't have now. And also provides, through that savings, some of the costs for $100 a month, $94 a month on the fiber internet. So that's the short story. There's contracts to be signed to get the work order going. And Kim's been asking for the phone system upgrade because she has trouble putting messages on the machine right now, where the phone system now resets to, you know, July 2019 messages and doesn't allow for even forwarding a call to, you know, the village office, which is right there. So the proposal is to make basically those two changes: the phone system upgrade with the phone fiber connection upgrade, and have that building set up for a very long time. I don't think nobody's even thinking about what happens after a fiber connection, because it is the newer technology that has significant capacity for the long term. So, for example, if somebody wanted to run a internet heavy community meeting in the downstairs, then we would have capacity while the office upstairs is operating. And then we won't have to worry about capacity for pretty much forever, anybody, as long as that building's there. If the town ever decided to sell the building, then that would also be a selling point, to have that dedicated business fiber line to the building. Other than that, I think the overall cost for both upgrades is the $94 a month additional cost, basically to the phone bill. So,
What's the cost for the upgrade? Total cost?
yeah, there's two upgrades: the phone system and the fiber upgrade. We're paying so much for Consolidated that for phone service that it covers the $320 a month for the new telephone system, because it's rental equipment, so that can be upgraded easily. And the savings of that, or the difference between our current costs and the future phone costs, is about $285. And then that.
Oh, there's no setup fee?
Yes, I can show you the setup fees. The one time.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of leaning.
Yeah, there's
It's on the, yeah. It's on the thing from the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty descriptive. It was on the thing from the guy. That'll help you find it.
It's all right. It's the same way with Penny, I understand.
Uh-oh, that's scary. I got,
yeah, I had those up.
yeah. The guy's name is Zoltan.
Zoltan. I'm remembering there's about $750 one-time charge.
Yeah, that would pan out over time.
And then the recurring cost. So there's two charges.
Well, it's the, I
I'm trying-
think one of the things when you get down to the bottom that's interesting is if you gotta remember our telephone system that you can no longer fix. If it collapsed, it would cost us $6,000 to $10,000 to replace it from nothing. You go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That digital telephone, we had that in the last part of the company in my previous life. And that is well worth it because somebody could call in and say, boy, I'd like to speak to Sue Bartlett. You could be down installed with Bill and all they can do is push a button and it goes right to you. Just
So it's like,
sit in the office. You can set up a voicemail just for selectmen. Each one of the select people, or somebody had a complaint or wanted to talk something about the select board, they could go right directly to a select board voicemail.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you checked?
yeah.
You checked?
Go ahead,
with-
sorry, Brian.
Did you check with Xfinity too? I'm just, you probably already did that legwork and this was a cheaper one.
Yeah, that's, we didn't hire Zoltan, but he's the one that works with Tech Group to set up businesses with this kind of stuff because it's relatively complicated to work with all the different providers. So they recommend this phone system. They recommended the fiber line with Consolidated because it's right there. And plus it has the long-term growth that we don't have to worry about the hardware line coming into the building anymore. So there's a training component to this cost. So this $713 is the setup for the phone system itself with training and how to use the phone. On the Consolidated, I'm remembering they weren't significant. It was a one-time charge because they roll most of the charges into your monthly fee.
And they probably got a tech support too.
Yep, Consolidated will. And I think once that line's in, I think there's a 3 to 6 month build now, right? Trying to catch the end of winter before it gets too bad. And then maybe you have to wait till spring anyway, but you have to put your order in to get it started. So the question is to complete the fiber line upgrade and the telephone system upgrade. Authorize me or Susan to sign the necessary paperwork to get the thing ordered and moving.
What's do we have, I think somebody asked before, do we have it's like a setup fee? Do we have some one-time cost that we need to cover? And is this stuff, I would think that the ARPA money could be eligible for?
Yeah, well, that's the question. So I definitely, anything broadband is ARPA reimbursable stuff. So the phone system itself, possibly, I just don't know if it's 100%. So I know the broadband extension line, I think you can take your initial plus 4 or 5 years. Eventually that will be not funded by ARPA because it's an ongoing cost.
Right. I was just thinking of, if you got one-time setup costs and those sorts of things as opposed to ongoing.
Yeah, no, I think that's what, I think the one-time cost, and then they can be paid by ARPA. These ongoing costs, we might be able to get 3 to 4 or 5 years, and then the town taxpayers would take it over.
Right.
So we'll maximize that. To answer your question, we'll maximize that option
Whoops. Okay, people got any questions? We're going to be dragged into high tech whether we want to go or not. Chastity, got any questions? Where's this?
Oh, all set.
1 to 5. Okay, I guess Rolly, Brian, Dave.
No questions.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, well, I guess I need a motion to go ahead and let Ron or myself, or we can pick somebody else to sign them if we want, you know.
Sure.
I don't want to have all the fun.
I'll make a motion to, what am I making a motion for? To go ahead for you to sign the paperwork.
Yeah, the contract, the necessary contract. Yeah.
Contract it, right? I knew what I wanted to do. I just wasn't sure how to say it.
Yeah, it's the two things. It's the fiber line extension from the roundabout and the new phone system.
That.
Okay, need a second?
Who's she authorized for signature? I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna let Susan do it. She likes to do all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay, we got a second someplace? Okay, we're gonna do this or not.
I don't care for consolidated.
Brian, Rowley, do you want to do this? You want to leave things the way they are? What's your decision?
I'm still trying to figure out, and you asked if there was any more questions, and I don't know enough about it, I guess, for myself. That's why I'm kind of hesitant myself, but
What's
That's what-
Dave think? Dave, you haven't said.
Rowley, what about you?
I really don't know that much about it. I mean, is there other? I'm about like you when it comes to the roads on that stuff.
I know, I'm like, this is like, yeah, okay. Well,
yeah, remember, we couldn't get our laptops or tablets here going tonight, so.
as I say, we're being dragged forward. It's not that we don't know any better. We don't know any, that's why I think Ron having worked with this guy, because he comes out and he works with folks exactly like the town, that it's, here's and instead of trying to deal with 5 different and figuring it out, he comes up and sort of says, here's your options, here's what you can do.
How long ago was our phone system we got put in here? Do they remember?
Oh, God.
Exactly why it needs to be upgraded. When no one can remember when it was installed, that probably means it needs an upgrade.
Well, and the fact that you can't repair it anymore. Yeah. The fact that you can't repair it.
What is it now? Hardwire on?
Yeah, the analog wiring comes in from the street and runs into a rat's nest in the basement, which nobody knows how many times the wiring's been cut or patched or whatever. So it's really not the best wiring system now.
Okay, so just to cut and dry, right now, what does our phone system cost us per month?
Well, the summary, because I asked the consultant to distill the
Right.
whole thing down, was that the fiber upgrade and the phone system upgrade, the 2 upgrades, is $1,100 a year increase.
So $100 a month increase.
Yeah. It was 94 or something. Yep.
Over what we're paying now.
Right.
Yes.
To get everything new, upgraded, and probably good for at least the next 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah, I agree with somebody said if that goes down, it's going to cost us $5,000-6,000 just to come in and toggle it up, and you'll still have a hardwire system.
Yeah, I can read a little bit.
Get it over
If
with.
they can
Second one? Right?
Yeah.
Dave?
What's that?
So let's just make a motion and go for it, because if it can't
Well, I
be
got the
fixed,
motion. All I need is a second.
Right.
you got a second.
Okay. So all in favor signify by saying aye. I think we probably have a lot of shrug of our shoulders on this one. Aye.
Right.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? I'm not sure. Dave, okay, so we've got it. I think
I think so.
Dave's now telling me, Dave's telling me that we install it. Now they can get me on my cell phone anyplace, and I'm not sure if that's a good upgrade or not, but okay.
We'll fix it. What we got.
Yeah,
How you gonna do it?
yeah. I just never had any luck.
Okay, let me see. You got now. Let's we probably, Ron, we should probably go into executive session to talk about our hire or potential hire.
Yeah, personnel matters. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So need a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
You got it? Seconded? Okay. All right, we'll get things turned off here.
We're all set to go.
All right. I think Brian, you got a motion for us.
Yes, I move that we allow Susan to what was the candidate?
No,
We don't
just
know names. That number one candidate.
negotiate
number
a letter of hire
Letter-
with the number one candidate.
Negotiated, yeah.
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. I'll get Ron and Chastity to help me with it. Super. The only, let's see, the North Hyde Park Fire Department meeting is set for next Monday, up at North Hyde Park. And I have a civil board of authority, and we got a couple of people coming in with tax stuff, so I cannot go next Monday, but you guys can go.
Yeah, I think Kim was just on next Monday, if Susan and Kim could talk about a quorum for the BCA.
Yeah, 'cause I thought Kim told me she needed a quorum for that one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's made up of more than the select board though, so I think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
Got it.
just counting
Oh, yeah,
heads.
we
You may have to split your membership a little bit.
Yeah, we can usually scrounge up enough people to get there.
So anyway, just put that in the back of your, I'm speaking for Kim now.
Yeah, no. She'll- So anybody have anything else? You good?
Yes, I do so.
Yeah.
I was talking to Howard Minosh this, during the week, and we got talking about the gravel pit. And I
Yep.
got Howard to commit that he would sell us that 25 acres up there, or 24 plus or minus,
Okay,
for $250,000. I asked him about the payment. He said he would take it over a 10-year period.
okay,
Now, I think that's something we should seriously consider putting on the town meeting ballot, because you
absolutely,
take 15, 20 years from now,
Yep.
gravel is going to be a commodity.
absolutely.
Now, to help pay for it, Tim Stearns with High C Mowing leases that. And we won't need that gravel pit
For years, right?
for so many years. So we could still lease it to him and recoup a little bit of money. I don't know how much they get from it, but I think that's a perfect place for us to put a gravel pit right next to us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree, Dave. I agree.
But before I think we should put it on the ballot. Would the town be willing to
Yep.
spend the $250,000 for 10 years? And between now and then, I'll go and get Howard to give me a bore test, so we know what's in there for
Yep.
gravel.
Yep. And then, and again, we can, we can have a plan then we can work with High Mowing. Here's what it is. So, here's what a yearly payment would be, and here's how much we can cover with leases until we actually need it.
Yeah. Good boy, right now, Jericho and Essex Center and stuff, they're hauling all the way from Natos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I was talking to Amy here this winter, and he said he figures they got another 15 years.
Okay.
So there you have it.
I think that's terrific.
Okay, over now.
Anything else?
No,
Rolly, Brian, we're all
no,
set? Okay, I guess motion to adjourn.
don't move. Second.
Got a second? People want to stay.
Roland stays warmed up now.
So maybe now all in favor signify by saying aye. We'll go, we're adjourned.
Aye.
Maybe when we get all this new high-speed stuff, we'll all be able to work better.
Right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Stay warm.